Hey, what's up everybody? Hopefully this is round 2 and the final time I have to do this video. Yeah. Tried doing this once and apparently I didn't record my voice. So, this is take 2. Benefit of that is you get a slightly better game for the first game. So, guess that's a plus for you all. And personally I like it too because I don't like having mediocre games on the gameplays. But that's the point. Let's get into this a little bit. This is the second of the Tier 8 Prems that was just released recently. You can now get the ELC even by itself, not just in the package with the LT432, which is out of the store now, I believe. Yeah. Again, a little late, but you know, like I said, video better late than never. Can't do much about it. Yeah, I'm noticing this video is kind of choppy. Not sure what that was about. I guess we'll keep going. But yeah, alright. This is the French Tier 8 light tank. Compared to the LT432, this one didn't get as many changes done to it. So it's still pretty viable, in my opinion. I actually think I'm enjoying playing it more than the Russian light. Does that mean it's better? Not totally necessarily, but in my opinion, so far it's been more fun to play. Just because, well, look at it. It's the size of like a box. Like it's the size of Wally, and if you want to call it that, it's pretty appropriate name for it. But obviously an issue with that small size is that the tank weighs nothing, and that's not surprising considering the most armor it has is 15 millimeters and has 10 in most places. So you really don't want to take shots in this thing. You really don't want to get rammed. Side note, if you come up against one of these things on the enemy team, try to ram it. Pro tip. I'm not saying go all out, balls to the wall, like out of your way to do it, but if the opportunity arises and it's not going to cost you your tank or a whole bunch of hit points, try to start hitting this tank. Game wasn't as choppy. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's really frustrating for me because I may have to use the other game now. Like I said, I don't know, this may be more my computer than everything. Hopefully this fixes itself. Like I said, this is frustrating to me. But I really don't want to use the other game. So we're just going to continue on. The second game isn't like that. I've already watched it. I know it's not like that. So just have to bear with it, I suppose. Hopefully the next video won't be like that. It shouldn't be. But again, the back on track again. The small size of it also means that it has great camo. It probably accurate lights. Again, I should be doing my fact checks, but again, I just don't have all the time in the world, unfortunately. But the camo is much better, and I can do a lot more aggressive pushes into bushes and get away with a little bit more, get closer to the enemy tanks, use more aggressive positions, and the bush mechanics on console being a bit iffy, to say nicely. That shot went into oblivion, but hey, it's whatever. But yeah, like I said, this thing's, I've really enjoyed just the camo on it. It's been pretty fun with it. It's a nice change over Tier 8 lights. It's kind of different. It kind of focuses on that spotting role a little bit more. Fulfill that role better if you're looking for something to learn than doing the usual aggressive kind of damage dealing you'll see me doing a lot of the time. Which, you know, I'm still doing here, but and it's Dragon Ridge, so what do you expect, really? But, I mean, the 1,000 assists on the UDES, that was nice. But that's about the most you're going to do on this map, because it's, you know, face-to-face fighting. Fun note, we're going to 100 health. This tank only has a 3-shot autoloader, and on the 90 mil, on like a lot of 90 millimeters at tier 8, and most, just in general, most use 60. So you got to be a little more that you going after to try to clip them out in that assassin role are more about 600 health. And the only reason I say that is just because of low rolls. I don't want to say you will regularly roll below 200 damage. You'll roll in the upper 100s. The rolls don't always guarantee that you're gonna high roll or even average. It's just the fact of this game. It's just not gonna happen every time, unfortunately. But so just kind of keep that in mind when you're selecting tanks to go after. Just picking your targets is just something you should work on always. I always try to work on it. Try not to get too aggressive in situations, and just trying to get the idea and how to play these tanks. It's a learning process. I'm still trying to learn with these a little bit. I know it's kind of surprising, maybe. I don't know. But I don't always hop in every tank and just automatically, boom, there's like 5,000 damage game. Sometimes that happens, but that's more maybe because the tanks are more similar to another vehicle's playstyle. It's like the HMH58. Like that one game I posted, what, a couple weeks ago now, maybe a month ago. I don't know. Did like 6.5k damage in it, and that was like the first night I played it. It's probably more down to that it plays just like the tier 10 almost, but with worse gun stats, worse everything about that tank. Don't buy that tank. Just, yeah. Right now. But yeah, it's just this tank could get some getting used to, even for me. I said it's very tiny. The gun handling is not fantastic. It only has 175 pen, which is pretty average actually for most tier lights. They're around that 170 to 180 millimeters a pen on their regular rounds, and then 215 on the APCR rounds, which is again fairly standard light tank stuff at this tier for APCR rounds. Yeah, accuracy 0.38, aiming time 2.9 seconds. So I said this before in my other video that I was trying to make with this tank, but and you can also see a little bit of the camo in this thing. I'm not even using this bush correctly, and I'm shooting at tier 9s at 340 meters by this tier 8. But yeah, screw you, Rock. But they're not going to spot me, and we're able to light them up, and just it's super sneaky. If I was doing this in, I want to say most other tier 8 lights, I'd get spotted here doing this, even in my LTTB with that crew. I would get lit up. I'm fairly certain of it, actually, shooting these guys. But this tank, I already have a fairly good idea that I'm not going to get spotted. Here I get spotted because there's the IS to my, or no, sorry, that's the Carnarvon actually. That popped up, and he's just rolling through the middle. So that's really the only reason we get spotted there. It's not the KV-4 spotted us. It's that Carnarvon that I just saw. And you're going to see me actually use the clip here pretty well. Again, if you can get the track on people and just kind of pop out unexpectedly and dump your clip and run away, you're going to be fairly effective. Again, you want to try to go much more than almost most other lights. Go for the weak sides and rears of tanks in this thing. And that's just because the gun handling is not fantastic and the accuracy is not fantastic. So couple that with a fairly long reload for a 3-shot 660 damage autoloader. I think just shy of 27 damage, or 27 damage, sorry, 27 seconds, just shy of it, fully kitted out like I have it. You want to make the most of those shots, because that's one thing I've been struggling to get those really good games, is because either I'll miss some shots or the game will just end too quickly for me to enough to get the damage out. That's just frankly the case. This a tank that to get those really great games, you're either going to have to do a lot of assisted damage if you want to do it in a quick game, or you're going to have one of those really prolonged encounters, like probably on Malinowka, Westfield, something like that. More than likely. You can have it on other maps, but those are the ones where you're probably going to have division games the most. And here you see me kind of making an aggressive play in it. I'm going after T69 because I just kind of counted his shots and what he had fired. And then I saw the IS, so then I kind of got hesitant about it, but the IS wasn't paying attention. And now at that point I was like, yeah, the T69's reloaded. He puts one shot into me, but that's all he puts into us. So, not a bad trade in my opinion. Some situational awareness there that I don't know if I'd gone in on the T69, just because obviously you're not going to kill him, and just putting yourself in that situation with no support, even against a tank that is reloading, is not the best idea, especially in the small confines of that little gap. Just because, well, he could ram us, and basically if some tank rams you in this thing, when you're in this thing, you'll kind of stick to them like glue, and you can't really move. They kind of just control where you go. If you played like the Scorpion, the Tier 7 American, which I haven't, I imagine it's something like that, where I've had the pleasure of ramming a few of those tanks, and when I hit them, they can't control the vehicle anymore because my horsepower is just too strong and I'm just pushing them over. It's kind of effective, but you just got to make sure you're not taking hits also. Like you don't want to end up hitting the tanks you're circling, because the small size of it is pretty effective at making them miss shots. Can't aim. You don't want to count on small size. It's not always gonna. It's just not gonna work for you every time. I hate to say it, but you know, it can. Not saying it can't, but it's not gonna do it every single time. You're gonna get hit. It's just the fact of this tank. And we see the wonderful aim time right there. Just to end the video out a little bit, and I will do more videos on this thing when I get better games. I just wanted to kind of push this out finally. I know you've all been waiting for this in the LT432, so these are the kind of the best games I had available. So I'm rocking, you know, the fairly consistent loadout on this that I play. Auto loading lights with optics, vents, and vert stabs. Just the main three equipment types that I really run on this. Just fits my playstyle. Some people may, I don't know, maybe argue camo knit and binos. That doesn't fit me at all. I'm not saying it's not viable, but with a lot of the maps we have, I kind of consider it's not viable. But you know, it's whatever suits your fancy, I guess. But that's just how I like to roll it out with. It's kind of my generic light tank or auto loading light tanks. But overall, like I said, I like this thing. If you like lights, I'd probably recommend getting this if you have the money. So I've been enjoying it. It's been pretty fun. Especially in Tier 8 games, you can really control the vision fairly easily. You're not going to get spotted on most, like... I can't imagine having this tank on a Blizzard variant, but that's just beside the point. I haven't had that happen yet. But hopefully I get some new videos out for you all on this tank and the Russian light. And until then, next time. See you. Hey, what's up everybody? Hopefully this is round 2 and the final time I have to do this video. Yeah. Tried doing this once and apparently I didn't record my voice. So, this is take 2. Benefit of that is you get a slightly better game for the first game. So, guess that's a plus for you all. And personally I like it too, because I don't like having mediocre games on the gameplays. But beside the point, let's get into this a little bit. This is the second of the Tier 8 Prems that was just released recently. You can now get the ELC even by itself, not just in the package with the LT432, which is out of the store now, I believe. Yeah. Again, a little late, but like I said, better late than never. Can't do much about it.